Don't forget to subscribe!
Good morning.
Hey, what's up good people, it's YellowMotion here. Welcome to a new Tekken Talk video. I hope that everyone is doing well in these times of quarantine and social distancing, and hopefully everything is going well for you guys. Now with Falkenbaum finally being out as the final DLC for Season Pass 3, along with his new stage, Cave of Enlightenment, it pretty much marks the final update and the content for Season Pass 3 and Season 3, as well as for the game, with a recent balancing patch update. So the question that you might have right now is, what's next for Tekken 7 after Season 3? Are you up for another season with Season 4 and a Season Pass 4, with new contents for the game? Or should we just call it a day and move on to the next Tekken game, whether that's a canon or a non-canon game? Well, that's what I'm going to talk and discuss with you in this video, pretty much going through several options that all are pretty much feasible and can happen one way or another, and if they are the right solution right now for Tekken 7 in its current state. So let's get right into it. So first guys, let's start with the current state of Tekken now that Season 3 has come to an end, as I want to go to what's been added to the game since Season 3 has been launched last year of September, and how that has shaped the game with its free updates, but also the paid contents for Season Pass 3. So starting with the free updates, in my opinion, Season 3 has brought a lot of good things to the game, starting with the new moves for all characters, which I think everybody can appreciate. But most importantly, it has brought some nice updates as well to the learning curve and practicing with your character by adding punishment training. Pretty much practicing with your character, countering, punishing moves with any character to your opponent. The second addition that's been added to the game is the My Replay and Tips feature, which first of all gives you a very solid replay option to rewatch your matches. It's something that the game needed along with other things since day one, and now it's here. But the most important thing is that it also gives you a good option to analyze your match and get tips and recommendations in the process of what you could have done. And these seem small updates, but they are in my opinion very useful for learning the game and just getting better at it with your character. And as far as the contents for Season Pass 3 goes, well, first of all, we get the frame data, something actually many thought never would see the light of day in a Tekken game. And that's because Harada in the past has stated several times that he would never put frame data in a Tekken game. But now hey, here it is, and I think that the community can truly benefit from it, not only by the competitive scene, but also for the casuals. Now it's still a debate whether it should have been free instead of paid DLC, but hey, nonetheless, it's better late than never, I would say. As far as the characters go for Season Pass 3, we got 4 additional DLC characters added into the game, 2 of them being the returning classic characters, Zafina and Ganryu. And the other 2 are completely new original Tekken characters, Leroy Smith and Falkenbaum. And on a side note, I made a separate video on both Leroy and Falkenbaum, talking about their designs as Tekken characters. So if you want to check that out, link is in the description. Like with all seasons, we have the many balanced patches that the game always has. And as usual, people are either happy or displeased with it. Just when I thought that the competitive scene was at its peak of being disappointed with Leroy's release regarding to his ultra OP gameplay, man, I don't think I've ever seen the competitive Tekken scene so upset with a recent patch that came along with Falkenbaum's release that pretty much buffed the Mishimas and especially Kazuya's controversial Hell Sweep and his Godfist. Now look, personally, being a casual Tekken player, I don't really focus nor really care about these patch updates, and quite honestly I never have, but I do understand that they are of course very important to the game and to the balance, as they are of course needed. And the community has every right, whether casual or competitive, to give critical feedback to every part of the game. So I certainly know that for a great deal of players right now, all they care is that the devs need to fix this ASAP to what they have brought with the recent balancing patch, but also for the other characters as well regarding the low and high tier characters. And of course the netcode of the game that's been going downhill since Season 2. But beside that, how should Tekken move forward? Well, let's see what the possibilities are. Now the first and most common possibility is that we are going to get another season with Season 4 and another Season Pass of course. I'm not against the idea of Season 4, because I do think that it's very likely that it's going to happen. But at the same time, I'm not fully supportive of the idea, since it will all depend on what it will bring to the game. Because look, if you ask me, do I think that Season 4 will happen? Absolutely. Why shouldn't be there a Season 4 and a Season Pass 4? If all of the Season Passes are working greatly for you, why not? As long as you bring something new to the table and keep making the game better by adding unique and more varied content, you should definitely go for it. But let's just say that if Season 4 will be another set of DLC characters, like with Season Pass 2 that had 6 characters, then I think it's not going to be a great addition to the game anymore, and here's why. Look, Tekken 7 already has a huge roster of nearly 50 characters. In fact, there are right now 49 playable characters to be exact, with fucking Rom's inclusion. But if you would count Violet as a playable character, which he is of course a swap for Li Qiaolang, then it's 50, right? But that aside, just think about this for a minute. 49 characters. That's huge. I mean, some may say that Tekken Tag 2 and its entirety of its 59 characters is a huge roster, so Tekken still has room for more characters, right? Because hey, after all, like many say, there are 6 spots left on the character roster, so let's dump 6 more characters in there, because why not, right? But at the same time, the roster of Tekken Tag 2 was made up of characters that were either slight variations, like having martial law and forest law, but there were also a lot of characters in the roster that are really carbon duplicates. Like, you know, having 3 Capoeira players like Eddie, Christy and Tiger, having Kuma and Panda, Mokujin and Combat, Bob and Slim Bob, Lily and Sebastian, Roger and Alex, and so on. So it's one thing to say that Tekken Tag 2's roster was so huge with 59 characters, but if you would really chop it down to how many original and unique characters the game had, you can easily just cut 10 or more from the roster with its duplicates alone, so that would bring the roster down to below 49 characters, less than Tekken 7. So what I'm trying to say here is, guys, is that in hindsight, Tekken 7 already has the same, if not more unique characters than Tekken Tag 2 already had. And this is for a game that's not even a tag game, because Tekken 7 has pretty much become a Tekken Tag 3, but without a tag, of course. So that's why I'm dependent on what the contents for Season Pass 4 will be. Because like I said, if they would add another 6 characters to the roster, like with Season Pass 2, then I really think it would be overkill by this point. But let's just say that Season Pass 4 brings something to the table that we haven't seen from the other Season Passes, like just top of my head, multiplayer offline contents that I have been saying since day one, because I don't only want to see characters for Season 4. And I surely don't think we need more characters than we already got with Season Pass 3, meaning that if a Season Pass 4 would happen, I would be alright with 4 or less characters, even 2 maybe if they are really good, and the rest just be like unique content for the game, just to keep things interesting, then I certainly would be down for that. So yeah, that's one option, guys. I'm definitely up for Season 4 and Season Pass 4, but it shall depend on the contents. Option 2 is that after Season 3 and Season Pass 3, we could just move on to the next Tekken game, and by that I mean a brand new Tekken game, and just start with a clean slate. This could be either with Tekken 8 or a non-canon Tekken game like with Tekken Tag 3. But quite honestly, although I wouldn't be against it, I wouldn't be up for a game like Tekken Tag 3. Then again, I wouldn't mind a new Tekken game that's particularly non-canon, but isn't a tag game either. Because after all, Tekken 7 to me already kind of feels like a non-canon Tekken game, even though it's the 7th installment of the ongoing series. But as a product, it's pretty much a letdown, and I'm just talking about the overall presentation and the contents of what it has to show and to tell, where pretty much the story is the main focus. You have to even show what's up with the other characters, why they are entering the tournament, and let alone their endings and all of that stuff. Tekken 7 dropped the ball on that one really hard. And I'm not even talking about the classic DLC characters that are here with Season 2, that they don't even have a real story purpose in the game at all, and are there just for the gameplay. Because I've said this before, guys, Tekken 7 is a fun game, but it's not a perfect Tekken game, and it has quite a lot of problems with it, whether it's the gameplay or the overall product as a whole. And right now, with its balance imperfections and just the netcode that's been going downhill since Season 2, Tekken 7 just kind of feels bloated, and I just think that starting off from a clean slate would be a good option, as you can pretty much focus everything from a fresh start instead of trying to right now fix it that isn't really fixable anymore, because the foundation of the game has already been set years ago. And sometimes when you're working on something and you feel like you have to put hours or weeks or months into it, it's just better to start all over again instead of fixing it and patching it. The third option is very interesting, as it is Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Now you may be actually be surprised with this and even think that the chances of this game ever being happening are slim, but hear me out. I know this game has been announced nearly 10 years ago as just a teaser with no gameplay reveal whatsoever until this day, and I think it's a very good time to pick this game up and release it for next-gen consoles. And of course, over the years, Harada has said in the past that it's because of Tekken 7 is doing great for them and the community, and Street Fighter is also doing great for Capcom and the community, that they feel that they don't want to interfere with both communities by adding Tekken Cross Street Fighter into the mix, and they pretty much need to find the right timing for it. Well, guess what? I think this right now is the right timing. And this doesn't necessarily have to mean after Season 3, as I really think this is one of the best options for Tekken 7, not only for the community, but also for the Tekken project development team as well. Because look, working on Tekken 7 since 2014 or earlier can be pretty daunting, and I can imagine that if you even want to go work on Tekken 8 at the moment or a new Tekken game, you can really have that feeling of been there, done that before, you know what I'm saying? And I feel that Tekken Cross Street Fighter is something really fresh for them. Because after all, it's a non-canon game, so you can pretty much go wild on the many ideas, the lore, the characters, whatever you want to go, just put a big, awesome spectacle, right? And look, it's not that I already give too much thought on the story and the characters for Tekken 7 with their endings and the presentation, but with Tekken Cross Street Fighter, there is no lore, so they have all the freedom and they can pretty much do whatever they want to do, and they aren't tied to any lore or story beats that has been with the previous Tekken games. Because at this point, I think it's better to work on finishing Tekken Cross Street Fighter and release it as the next big Tekken game, so that not only the devs are really motivated to working on something fresh before they move on to the next real Tekken game, but it will also spark up the community. So yeah guys, those are my 3 main options on what I think what's next for Tekken after Tekken 7. If I have to say which one of these is most likely going to happen, without a doubt a Season 4 and a Season Pass 4 right now is the best and logical option to go for. Because one, like I said, why shouldn't you make one? The past Season Passes have proven to be a success for you, so let's make another one, as long as you can bring originality to the 4th season and its Season Pass. And of course, it will keep the game fresh and ongoing, like the other 3 Season Passes have been doing for the game. And while you have Season Pass 4, it can also prepare for the next big Tekken game for next-gen consoles. So yeah guys, we shall see, and I surely think that one way or another, all of these 3 options that I just said will eventually happen. But enough of me talking about this topic. I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you think needs to happen right now to Tekken at this current situation with Season 3 being complete and finished? Do you think they should continue to fix the game to its gameplay balances with these patches, fixing the characters, gameplay, and even the netcode? And while we're at it, throw another season into the mix with Season Pass 4? Or do you think it's a good time to, let's say, you know what, just call it a day and let's move on to the next project? Whether that's going to be a canon or a non-canon Tekken game. Or do you think that the dev team really needs something else, like a spin-off, which is Tekken Cross Street Fighter? Well guys, whatever it is, be sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, and let's have a great discussion together. So if you think that Season 4 is the right choice, elaborate further on what you think they should bring in the table. But yeah guys, that's enough for me, and I hope you really had some good perspectives on what the possibilities are for Tekken after Season 3. So yeah guys, if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like, as it helps the channel greatly. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to be notified of new uploads. And of course, if you want to get updates and get connected, then you can follow me at YellowMotion on social media. So that'll do it for me guys for this one. Thanks a lot for being here, and thanks a lot for watching. Stay safe and stay healthy. I see you guys in the next one. Peace.